Hi, my name is Etiquette Elizabeth, and I'm the founder at Set on a Hill. This video is all about basic film set etiquette for momagers and their kids. It is a video for parents and guardians and their kids when you're on set. So let's get started. The purpose of this video is to help you avoid the mistakes when you're on set for things to do and things not to do. If you're serious about becoming a great manager and support to your child, stay tuned and I'll talk about our Momager program after this. All right, so basic film set etiquette. We're going to start with our first one is always be early. So there is a saying that says, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're fired or you're not going to be asked back. But emergencies are understandable, but otherwise never be late. So that means giving yourself an extra hour for traffic. We all know LA traffic. Give yourself an extra hour and give yourself an extra hour to find parking and to locate the correct building and spot where you're supposed to be. Go all the way to the door, peek your head in, make sure it's the right place, and then go back to where you're at and wait, and don't walk in until 5 minutes before your call time. You don't need to go in way earlier than your call time, expecting them to have chairs ready for you in the lobby. The production is getting ready. So wait until about 5 to 10 minutes beforehand, and then you can walk in. Go back and watch my camera ready video so you know how to walk in to a film set. All right, so what do late people do when they show up? So I'm going to tell you how you're being perceived by the production staff. And keep in mind that everyone in Hollywood, we work on multiple sets. And so, depending on how you act, we know whether we can recommend you for another producer that's really tough and harder on the people that are there, or if we can't recommend you. And so, it's so important to use this etiquette on every set that you're on. So, number one, when people come in late, they often make excuses. Oh, I texted the number and the instructions and I didn't hear back, or it was so hard. So that when they say that, they're blaming production. They might say the traffic was so bad. They're not taking responsibility for not coming early or leaving early. I had the worst morning and all of these things happen. They're trying to get sympathy by exaggerating their stress and trying to externally process and offset their stress onto the production. So if you're an external processor, meaning you share all of your feelings and you're a big talker, you are giving your stress to the other person and you're actually asking for sympathy back from them. Production has their mind on a million things, and now they have to calm you down, make you feel good, make your kid feel good. And you're here stressing your kid out because you have to share your stress externally. This is a really tough thing. So I would say be super careful how you come in, even if you come in late. We may be nice about it, and especially if you're apologizing in the beginning, but a lot of times when you apologize, you want us to feel for you. You're not actually apologizing for us, because if it was for us, you wouldn't be wasting our more of our valuable time making us make you feel better, and so that you don't think anybody's mad at you. Because the goal of production is to make you and the child feel happy and excited and not in your feelings. Okay. So watch our video about how to not get in your feelings, not to get in your head, not to get in your nerves, or to worry about things, especially if you're late. If you know you're a person who gets into your nerves, you can never be late. Don't be late, because it's going to be on your mind bothering you, and then you have to work hard to get that out. And so we might be nice about you being late, but we notice, and you won't get all of the production days that we originally planned. We're going to try to film you as quick as possible, make sure you never come back. You can't handle getting to a location. That's like really hard for production. If that was overwhelming to you to fill out a little paperwork for a small production, like if we send you to a bigger one where they make you sign contracts before they even approve you, like what um what are you going to be able to handle, you know? And so I would say, just to let you know, we notice. We might not say anything, but we notice. So, um, if you're late, just take responsibility, but do it quick. Quick. Take responsibility and try to time your apology for the end, not the beginning. Time the apology for the production staff, not for yourself. A lot of people apologize for themselves. Oh, I just want to feel better. Time your apology for the production staff. If you're a parent, focus on your child and making them feel good. And don't bring your stress of being late onto them and dragging them and stressing them out. All right. So come with a, you've got to be having with a strong attitude, but a strong emotion is really what we're looking for more. Okay. And also apologizing for no reason. I do notice some people's personality types, they say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry," all of the time. Apologizing for no reason or at a time where you want to so that we can make you feel better, it's not great. So if you're a person who apologizes for no reason often or you apologize often, I would recommend honing that down when you're on production set. You can do that outside of that. That's what you want to, if that's how you want to communicate, but doing that too much on set is a lot for production. Casting and your PA is already trying to make you feel good, constantly apologizing. You have to respond to every apology. Oh, it's okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, it's okay. We have to respond. Do you see how it's like it's a little selfish? So just time your apologies. If you really did something wrong, time it. Oh, apologize at the end. It might be better for them. Or hey, by the way, sorry about that for being late. All right. If you're already late and you're already at Starbucks, grab a Starbucks for the camera guy or something. I'm not saying you need to bring gifts, but I'm just saying, like, you know, make it more lighthearted. Don't come in with so much stress, right? Be like, oh, well, sorry for being late, but I got you a cookie. They might not eat it. It's not about that, but just come calmly, right? So I'm not saying bring something and actually don't, it's not necessary to do that, but just be on time. All right. That took a while. Next, know when to promote and when to pitch. This is going to be a long video, by the way, guys. But hang in there with me because this is going to be the insider on to what happens in productions. I've been a producer for a lot longer than I look, but I've been producing with kids for a really long time. And so these tips that I'm giving you are things that I've lived for decades. So next is to know when to promote and know when to pitch and keep your creative ideas to yourself. So pitching. So often when you're on set, it's not the time to pitch your child for a higher role. Oh, you gave them this role. Why not let them do this role? That's not the time to pitch them. Please don't do that. It's the worst. Or let's say they're a co-star and you want them to be a lead. It's not the time to pitch them to be a lead. All right? So choose your time wisely. If you don't know the time to ask when you can pitch production, ask them, hey, I want to talk to you a little bit later about some other roles. When's a good time to talk to you? That's when you talk to them. When they say, oh, just find me after lunch, or just find me at the end, we can talk. Or after your raft, we can talk. That's great. Don't just, when you get there, oh, hey, why can't they be the lead? And you're talking to the absolute wrong person. You're going past the wrong process. So you need to respect the casting process and respect the roles on set. It's not, choose your time wisely when you pitch. I'd also say it's choose your time wisely when you pitch your other child. All right. If your child's a twin, they should have known that well in advance. But if you have other children that you want to pitch, your cousin and them that you want to pitch, it is not the time to pitch once you show up on set. All of that should have been done in advance. We should have been notified in advance, and it needs to go through the correct casting process. That is not the time to pitch your other child. Break times are not okay, downtime. So you might think, oh, downtimes we're eating lunch. What you didn't realize was the production staff was helping manage smaller productions, manage getting the food there, getting people moved around. They're only sitting with you for a second to make you feel comfortable and make it feel like a community. But if you notice, a lot of times they're not eating or they barely didn't eat and they've been running on fumes. So it's not the time to pitch when they're eating. Because a lot of times they're like reviewing tape during your downtime. So that's not a time to pitch them. So just be mindful of that. Usually on productions, the crew barely have a break, especially the director and the person that you want to pitch to. So do not pitch them during their downtime. They literally have like 3 minutes to mentally think about the next scene. They're not actually taking a break. It's not the time to pitch them, your other children, or for your kid to be in something else. Again, ask them. If you don't know, ask. Okay, what to do instead? Connect with different people. Get everyone's social media and ask them, hey, when's your birthday? Get their social media and their birthday. Find out the names of their kids and their pets. Then message them on their birthday on social media. And so this is called networking. It's not, I'm going to pitch you every chance I see you. No, it's let's become a community and I'm going to keep up with you the correct way. Again, we need to respect the casting process and the hierarchy process, but you want to become friends with the camera person, with the crafty person, with different people, because people take a lot of different roles on sets, especially internationally. I was in France, and a lot of the producers there, they wear so many hats on different sets, right? So make friends with everyone. Within shots. Okay, hierarchy matters, so respect the chain of command. So the person that you're supposed to talk to, like the PA, if you have an issue or you want something changed, make sure you only talk to your person that you are put in front of. So if it's your PA, you tell your PA everything. If you have a question, ask your PA. You can ask as many questions as you want to your PA. But the director, that's usually not so much the person you ask. Let the PA ask, and then they'll ask the director because they know how to keep the director focused and to get the question in and out quick without distracting them. All right. All right. Hierarchy matters. So the next tip is networking. So network when there is a positive friendship vibe. All right. So not everyone will vibe with you. All right. I know that sounds like a really new word, but not everyone is you're gonna feel great around. You don't have to network with those people, even if you really want to. If you don't feel like they were filling you after a couple interactions, just give it some space. That was one thing I didn't do, which is I wanted to network with everyone. I liked everybody, so I should just keep trying, not get a no. But it's so much easier to continue networking with people that you have something in common with and that you connected over, right? So maybe you both had huskies, or maybe you both grew up in the Midwest, right? So be aware of how others respond to you as well. Now, you might say it's not about that, it's about, but when it comes to networking, just realize where you connected. Was it on this one topic? Keep building that. Be mindful of what you say. Be careful when you're complaining around production. If they're laughing, okay, that's one thing. But I would say try to keep things short. Keep it short. A good rule of thumb is to keep whatever you're saying to production short, instead of like maybe it might be 10 seconds to 30 seconds. Don't have long drawn out conversations with them. Genuinely compliment them or ask them a genuine question. All right. All right, the next tip that I have for you guys is let your child have a voice. All right? Let your child shine. Your child has a voice. Don't forget that. And they were casted onto this project because we wanted to see them. So number 1, be patient. All right, parents, it's for me, I work with kids. I've worked with kids all my life. I know how to we know how to direct them. We know how to work with them. There's usually someone on set who knows how to work with kids. So it's wild for me when I ask a kid a question. It's not an important question, all right? I ask them a question, and because the child paused for literally a second and a half, the parent answers for them. Talk faster. No, be patient. Let your child answer. We want to hear their unique answer. If your child is being quiet, we're not asking them the question because we need an answer. We're talking to your child because we want to talk to them. I know you don't think your child talks. They don't talk around you, right? Because because when they're around their parents, they're different. When they're around other people, they actually open up a little bit more. So parents, the side that you see of your child is not their side on set. Usually they're a lot more professional on set or in school. So keep that in mind. That might be a new thing for you guys to know, is that your children are so capable. All right. So let them shine, let them have a voice. Next is teach your child a greeting. So instead of you saying hi to every adult and every person, teach your child how to say hi. It's not saying, say hi, honey, say hi all the time. Teach them how to say a greeting, right? So they can say, hi, how are you? And then let them ask unique questions. So for little kids, they might say, do you also love monster trucks? Or do you like dinosaurs, for little kids, right? But let's say for teens, they might ask something more. Hey, have you always worked in this production role if they're the cameraman? Or hey, have you ever been an actor as well? That'll give you insight. The producer will say, oh, no, I was a terrible actor. I'm just great behind the camera, But that child got to interact, right? And the child in that way got to pitch themselves a little bit more. Oh, I like being on set with this kid. They know how to have a conversation with an adult or with another kid, right? They have something unique to say. So teach them in advance a greeting. Hi, how are you? And then a unique question. Give them 3 questions they can ask at different times to different people. All right, but let your child shine. I hope that's a good tip for you guys. Next is don't yell at your child. On set, production, casting, we really want your child to be happy and that they're okay on set. And so this isn't the time to fully discipline them, right? Because we don't want tears. We want to stay away from any tears. This is to redo makeup and they're red and then it takes a while for the kid to come back. So keep a cool mind. Your energy will affect your child. So if you're stressed the whole time and like, hurry up, just most times production is going to be patient with the child. So just let your child do their thing. All right. See what they can do. If they need you to be behind the camera and help prompt the child, it's every now and then. Typically, it's not all the time. Usually, they'll have a director that's great with kids. So we might not need your help at all. For Set on a Hill Productions, we don't need the parents' help at all because we work with kids, literally. So the next thing I'd say is to have an incentive ready. You might say, some people are like, you're going to bribe your kids, but don't let an incentive be beneath you. Instead of a punishment, be ready with an incentive. So they're going to have the regular snacks that you brought for them, but have that special snack that's not sticky, non-sticky snack that doesn't have a lot of colors or dyes, like maybe like a marshmallow or something that's non-sticky, so that when there is a time where there's the child's a little tired or they're having a little trouble, you can pull out that incentive and say, hey, if you finish this line, we're going to give you this snack. Okay, great. But don't pull it out in the beginning. Don't give it to them the whole time. You're feeding them the sugar, right? It's for certain times. Another thing I'd say is be ready with some good, healthy sugars, some natural sugars for your child to really have energy. So, a lot of times we're really healthy with our kids, but on those production days, a lot of times we want your kids to be a little bit more energy filled. So, a lot of times I have to send the kids back to their parents and be like, go have some sugar, go have some improved sugar because you are not awake, right? Just like you need your morning coffee, the kids need their morning OJ, orange juice, right? Um, and try to keep it healthy, but they do need sugar, all right? And then next is to realize your kid can do it. Realize that they can do it. So I work with children of all ages inside of schools, and it's incredible to me to see how parents have no idea that even their small children, 3 years old to 6 years old, can do things, right? So I was doing a craft with one child. It was just at a friend's house. I was doing a craft with a child. They were using safety scissors, cutting things out, very dexterous with their hands, doing the whole craft, putting it together with me. As soon as their mom walked in from the other room, the kid stopped doing everything, non-verbally motioned to their mom, and their mom started cutting for them. It was so typical, probably, but that's because of the relationship that you have, kids have with their mother or their parent. It's like your arms are an extension of them. It's not until a certain age that babies realize that you're still not connected to them. That's why they cry sometimes, right? And so when you study development, right? So a lot of times, because you're doing so much for them, when you're around, they let you do that because that's your dynamic with them. But when they're on set, even 3 year olds, they can do so much. Your kids are so much more dexterous than you can think. They can draw, they can color, they can do a lot. And we have a lot of safety protocols in place. So allow your kid and know that they can do it. So know your child isn't trying to be a baby around you. That's just your dynamic with your child. So sometimes I would say always keep your eye on your child, but hide from them. Don't always be what they're looking to. Let's see what they are without you. It's always funny to see a parent and it's their first time dropping their kids off at a community center daycare or something like that. And they're like, oh, my kid just went all by themselves. They didn't even look back. These parents have no idea that their kids, have their own personalities and they might be social or want to play with a new toy or in a new space. And so just know that your kid can do it. All right, believe in your kid. I need to finish that book. But your belief in your child matters. So you really need to believe that they can do it. A lot of times we have doubt in our hearts and it comes out. But believe that the sky is the limit for them. Definitely. Um, all right. Next is respect the hierarchy of producers, PAs, and directors for your role type. So know who is designated for you for asking questions. You may have a PA assigned to you to ask questions to, and don't bug the director directly. The PA knows how to talk to the director, and that's what you'll do. Also, the lead actors can't direct other people specifically. So if you're on a major production set. So if you're on a production set, if you notice the lead actors, even if they're acting with you on set, they don't direct you. They don't direct background actors, even if they did something that wasn't safe. I was on set with Marcia Gay Harden. She is a super famous actress. But I was not billed with her. She was a lead, and I was not a lead. So we were doing a really fast scene where there was danger involved because there was speed happening and and a moving device. And so in order for me not to get hurt, she told the director, hey, you need to tell her not to do it. She did it in my hearing, and she could have just told me, but that's not the hierarchy. She had to tell him, he had to tell the PA director or the second AD, second assistant director, and then they tell me. All right. So keep in mind that there is a hierarchy, and just respect it. It helps with the flow, and it helps people remember how to direct that person. You might say, well, the director can just tell you. They did or whatever, but it's the PA for my role type that needed to remember that cue, because they're going to be cueing me for the rest of the takes. All right. If you're a background actor, the second AD or the background PA is the one that you're going to focus on. If you're a main actor, you're directed by the director or the first assistant director. On smaller sets, there's typically only one director. Don't overwhelm them by asking too many questions. Think about your questions, stay calm, and then ask at one time if you think it's great. Think about your question and try to use the least amount of words possible if you are a person who's very verbose, who uses a lot of words. And don't externally process your question. If you're an external processor, that means you think about your question while you're saying it. This isn't the time to do that. So if you need to, if you're an external processor, write your question down, then ask it. Okay. It's not the time to be taking everyone's time while you think through your question. All right. And there's nothing wrong with that. Your personality is beautiful, but you need to know how that affects production. So write it down, use it as a helpful tool for yourself. And don't keep asking questions. Know your craft, and this isn't the time to get acting coaching. You need to get coached in advance. So find an audition coach or production coach in advance. We offer that service to help you get ready to be on set. I would recommend that if you do get booked, that you do get coached beforehand so you know how to come with different takes. If you want to be able to feel strong, giving 3 distinctly different takes for when you're filming on set, go ahead and take our course, How to Create Over 101 Character Voices. We also have an audition and an on-set cheat sheet for actors and one for voiceover artists. So you can grab that in our store at setonahill.com. All right. So again, this is for our Momager program. We are talking about our Momager program. So I'm just going to give a quick summary of our Momager program. Our Momager program is a 6-week educational training program for young performers and their parents. And it's for parents who want to better support and manage your child's experience in the entertainment industry. The training focuses on helping parents understand the casting process, industry expectations, and how to foster a professional and supportive environment for their child. Remember, the casting process involves how production works with parents. So how you manage your child and your interactions matter just as much as your child's talent. So, parents, it's important to get trained. Our 6-module and 6-week program focuses on Module 1, the professional submission process. Module 2, branding, websites, and social media. Module 3, on-set etiquette and industry terminology. Module 4, talent resumes versus casting profile resumes. Module 5, audition best practices and the script support. And Module 6, understanding the pathway from background roles to lead opportunities, or from co-star roles to series regular. All right. All right, let's get back into basic set etiquette for momagers, moms, dads, and guardians and their kids, for their kids on set. All right. All right, so we just finished talking about respecting the hierarchy on set. Next, we are going to talk about parents talking on set. So parents, depending on how you're billed. Try not to talk too much to any of the other actors or animals on set. Allow your child to say hi and to keep it at that. Your child should be the star, not you. So only speak to actors if you're required to, but talk to actors only in your scene on the same build level as you. So if they're co-stars, talk to the co-stars, things like that. Smaller sets, it's fine. If you're acting with them, you can talk to everybody. But again, we want the child, if they're acting, to let them interact. The parent shouldn't be there talking, talking, talking. If there's quiet, it's okay. Don't feel like you have to fill the quiet. All right? Let the quiet happen. Let other people think through their next thing. If you keep interjecting when people are trying to think through their next scene and memorize their lines, you're taking their focus. So we typically recommend just don't talk to the actors. You might think they're just sitting there relaxing. They're going over their lines. Oh, you think they're on their phone. They're going over their lines or they're calming themselves down. So give them space. All right. Again, interaction should be no more than from 10 seconds to 30 seconds if you are interacting with someone. And then the next thing I'll say is don't stand in an actor's eye line. So if you're on set and your child's on set, don't just be in the eye line of another actor. Try to not be in their eye line. Now, it's okay if people are staring at you, just let them stare. Sometimes people just need someone to look at. That was a great advice for me. I'm 6'1", right? I'm 6 feet tall, over 6 feet tall. And so sometimes people just stare at me on set, but I'm not supposed to be there staring at them back, right? Let them stare. Sometimes people just need something to look at. But if you're directly in their eye sight when they're acting next to the camera where they're looking, you got to move. So avoid staring at them. It can break their concentration. So especially it's critical during emotional scenes. Don't be there. Oh, wow. Oh. And I'm guilty of freaking out when I'm on set with like an amazing comedian where every take is different and they're amazing. I'm sitting there clapping every take. But that's because I love comedy. But don't do that. And then typically parents, we don't really want you taking photos of the other actors on set. So no selfies or autographs on set. Now, if we're on in the break area or after the production, uh, while they're walking in and walking out, maybe if it's really quick and if your phone's already ready, have your phone already ready and on. But I would say don't try not to do that while you're on set. Okay. The set is a professional environment. It's not a fan meet and greet. All right. So, is this a hard, fast rule? No, not necessarily. But after everyone's wrapped at the very end, if they're walking out, maybe you can catch one with them. But again, I still wouldn't recommend it. And then I would say also don't post photos on social media until after the project is released. Follow your non-disclosure agreement. So respect your non-disclosure agreement, and sharing behind the scenes images may lead to legal trouble. So you want to stay away from that. Next is don't wander around. I have unfortunately had this situation happen and we never called the family back because their parents wandered around. The kid was fine, their parents were wandering around. They missed the show, right? They missed the performance because they were wandering around at the wrong time. They got locked out while the show was going on. Everyone was pulled in out of the entire facility to watch the show. They missed the entire show because they were wandering at that time. All of them left the building to go look at something in the car to hang out outside. So don't wander around. Don't touch things. Every department's responsible for its gear and different things like that. So don't move other people's gear around. Don't try to plug in your phone at in different places just because it's going low. Don't do that. Next, I would say use the holding section, the holding area, for phone use only. So I'm talking texting. You have a holding area. That's where maybe there's an extra plug for you to plug in, but I would say bring in an extra battery power pack to charge your phone. Don't always rely that they're going to have a plug for you, or you're going to be waiting for the plug for all of the cast. All right. So there's a holding section. The holding section is where the cast can go to sit while their scene is not being filmed. All right. So I would recommend not answering the phone while you're in the holding section. Only use it for texting, and make sure your phone is on silent, including vibrations when you're texting or doing anything on your phone. Holding section does not mean that you can talk. We can still hear you on set. You're close enough to the set that we can hear you. So you're not on your phone. You're not doing phone calls. It's only a place to text. Use your phone only in the designated holding areas. So there might be a holding area, but there might be a holding outside area where you're allowed to go. Again, I would recommend you keep an eye on your child so you're not leaving unless you're going to the restroom really briefly. But I wouldn't take phone calls even in the holding area. Find the close by outdoor area and make sure that nobody can hear you outside. Don't plug or unplug anything without asking. And one person might say, oh, it's fine, but they're not the right person. So only plug things in after asking, and it should be in the holding area. Electricity is so important for certain lights. If you plug them in or you plug too many things in the wrong outlet, you don't know if it's a speaker and they need a dedicated plug. So just because you see an open plug, don't plug anything in that. It might be attached to a speaker or a power amp, and it's really important that you stay away from plugs. Next is don't run on set. So even parents, safety first. There's rarely a reason to run. Equipment and cables are everywhere, so it's really dangerous. Next is, and kind of our final tip is, once you're wrapped, that means, oh, you have no more scenes, great job, you can go home. Leave the set, leave the building, leave the parking lot, completely leave. If they don't need you on set, leave. Don't wait. Don't wait in the parking lot. Don't wait on set. Don't wait in holding. Completely leave. You might say, oh, I just want to hang out. I'm having a great time. I'm just in holding, talking to the other cast members. They need to focus, or they need to rest. They've been working all day with you. You're wrapped. They're not. They need some mental time. And yeah, they're still laughing at your jokes and having fun with you and having a conversation, but you're taking their energy away. We asked you to leave because that cast member needs to focus on the new cast members in their next scene. They need to focus on what they're doing, and you're distracting them. You might be like, oh, they were just on their phone or listening to music. That was their mental prep time, listening to music. That was their mental prep time, playing on their phone or double checking some important details about the next day with their agent. All right. Once you're wrapped, you need to leave. Leave completely. All right. You might say, oh, I rode with this person. If you rode with someone, after they wrap, you ask them, hey, is it okay if I wait in the parking area or in a specific holding if you're picking that person up? But you need to be the quietest fly on the wall and leave out of the space so everyone else knows that you've been taken care of. All right. Especially if you have a child, a lot of times we need to check off that your child left with the right parent. So it's better that you actually do leave. If your job isn't needed on the current shot, step far aside. You can't still be on set. Set is full of people in production. If you're still on set, oh, you want to hang out with your friend, or your friend wasn't feeling comfortable, like when they asked you to leave and you're arguing with someone, you need to leave. All right. LA is a place full of people who we all look like we're 12, right? But we're not. So respect that hierarchy. Respect when people are telling you to leave off a set, please leave. Now, if you came to the end of this video, I hope you got some valuable tips on on-set etiquette for momagers, for dads, moms, guardians of kids, and for kids on set, so you can prepare. Check out our next video of how to show up camera ready. And we're going to continue this series on how to be a great momager. Join our Momager program by going to setonahill.com/momager pro. And I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Thanks for joining us.